And we are back with our Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode here halfway through season number 2, ready to see if we are a playoff team or not. We're on the cusp right now, and we are a wild card team. But first, guys, it is Movember, and I am fundraising for the Movember Foundation to change the face of men's health. As you guys can tell by the mustache, it'll be here all November, and it is Hockey Fights Cancer Month too. So I figured it's a perfect month to help contribute and change the way men view mental health and cancer screening and things like that. So if you guys would like to donate to the fundraiser, it is down in the description. No pressure. And if you can't donate, go ahead and just raise awareness, maybe. Just holy shit, my painting just fell off the wall. Holy shit. Anyway, maybe just raise support and raise awareness. But here we go, guys. Now that the walls are crumbling around me, we are ready to get started here in the second half of the season. We are here at December 31st, just basically January 1st, and at a very good record of 20-12-4, in my opinion. 44 points in 36 games. We are only 3 points behind the Blue Jackets for the number 1 seed in the Metropolitan. 1 win, and we'd be tied with the Capitals. However, they have 2 games in hand. The Rangers with 3 games in hand. Thankfully, the Hurricanes have the same amount of games played, and they are the nearest competition to catch us. In the Atlantic, since we are in a wild card spot, the teams around us would be the Leafs and the Lightning, both of whom are behind us. The Leafs do have 2 games in hand. Sean Couturier is playing well, but the last time, guys, we were talking about the lines, and I think Drouin, Couturier, Farabee with Konechny, Frost, and Atkinson makes the most sense to me. We'll move Owen Tippett back down to the third line. He'll play with Bobby Brink, who I've actually been really impressed with. I know he's not got too many points. He's only got 15 points in 34 games. That's not that bad if you think about it, right? That's maybe a 40-ish point pace. He's also on the power play. He's not going to be on the penalty kill, obviously, as a 5'8" sniper. No chance he's going to be on my penalty kill. But I was, at the end of the last one, looking for maybe some defensemen, and I've got a couple guys in mind. If we take a look here, defensemen that play defensemen, I don't care I don't care about their handedness, and that have 1 year left. There's a decent amount here that look like guys we could go after if we wanted to, sorting by overall, not by trade value. A guy like Marco Scandella, who plays for the St. Louis Blues, he is hurt. Unless that's just a glitch and he's not actually hurt. Derek Forbort here of the Bruins, he could fit the third defensive line. Scandella doesn't fit. But, I was looking at some of these guys like Vakanainen, and I don't think the Ducks would ever part with this guy. He's too important to them right now. Chris Tanev was a guy that I was looking for. But, again, the Calgary Flames, probably a little too good. And right now, I don't know if anybody's going to make a move. Taking a look at it, the Flames right on the cusp, and they're not going to trade away one of the better players they have. So I think we're at a stand and wait until we get closer to the deadline. At least another month, right? We'll look early February here to maybe reassess where teams are. Maybe a team needs a kick in the butt, or maybe we are doing just fine and we don't need to make a move. But I think a defensive defenseman would really help this team. We have a couple offensive defensemen, some offensive-minded two-way defensemen, but no real defensive defenseman. And I did trade Braun, who I looked at, that would look really good right now on the team. I'd slot him up there and he'd play with like D'Angelo or something like that. So I did see you guys talk about, I got offered a trade for Rasmus Ristolainen and I should have taken it. I don't think Rasmus Ristolainen is a player that the NHL is going to trade for again. He's been moved once in his career and everybody immediately was like, that's a terrible move. And he's still got a terrible contract. They signed him to an extension. I think he's locked in until he's on the last year of his deal. So I appreciate you guys trying to help me out here. But I think until 2026-27, we're kind of stuck with Ristolainen and just hope that he can produce as a third pairing defenseman. I mean, he does fit the third pairing best. But ultimately, he's not a guy that I'm really excited to have, or that any team would be excited to go after, I should say. So I think he's kind of going to be a lifer, unfortunately. I'm trying to keep it as realistic thinking as possible. I know we said if the computer offers me trades, I should take it. I looked at the Anthony Mantha trade. I believe it. I forgot who almost tried to send me Mantha for him. It might have been like the Devils or the Capitals. I don't think Mantha's a guy that they might part with. We'll take a look here. He's a winger, right? Yeah, Anthony Mantha's on the block. 84 overall sniper. This guy's he's just way better. He's got, he's a +1. He does have 23 points in 34 games. He's playing on their fourth line and he's on their second power play. So I don't know why they would trade him. Maybe he's disgruntled, but I don't see any reason why Washington would make that move. I know they offered it for me, but it just doesn't make sense. But we'll get into the simulation now. I've already set up the scouts and we are ready to go. And hopefully the month of January can be a very kind month to us. But here we go. We beat 2 wins in a row. Patrick Hornqvist for a 3rd next year and a 6th this year. Patrick, I don't really want a guy like Patrick Hornqvist, I don't think. He's an 82 overall. He's got 21 points in 33 games, +4. A power forward who's pretty average. He would fit our first line, so I guess we could get a power forward, but we have too many two-way forwards on the team for me to think that a power forward would get us the chemistry bump. But we get 3 straight wins, and I'm kind of glad I didn't make the move. And D'Angelo is now fully healed and ready to play. That's really, really good news, and we can now go ahead and bench Joel Levy, who's a +4, actually. Joel Levy's a +4. Goodness gracious. All right, so things are going well with Joel Levy. Happy to have him there, but we'll put D'Angelo back on the second line. I think him being on the first line was just a little bit too... it was not good for us. But Tony D'Angelo, there he is. We'll stop the simulation because the calendar... Halton has been injured with injured ribs, is going to return in a couple of weeks. So that's a bit of a bummer there. We can fill that with Tyson Forster, who should be playing. I'm sorry, why is Tyson Forster not playing? Either way, he's going to play on that right wing there. And then, you know, when we get Halton in back, we'll be good. Lehman is having an awful time. That's just brutal. I don't know if I should put him on the second line or what, but we're going to put Leszczynski there. Power play line 2. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we want to move Lehman down to the second line? I mean, he's getting a ton of ice time, right? He's making 21 minutes a night, but he's only got 14 points. Maybe something like that would be the move. I mean, Forster doesn't really fit. Ronning fits there. And, okay, Marody with Ratcliffe. Do we get a plus on this second line with anybody? No, but I'm going to move Lehman down. He's just... Guys, a -29. That's really going to probably hurt his development quite a bit. So I don't want to risk it anymore. Too many... okay, back to edit lines. I think in the power play, Leszczynski was not the guy I had in there, but instead it should be centers... Forster, changing current line, and then no lines. Oh, okay. Scratch. Do we need to scratch somebody? Forster. We have one too many dress skaters, but it doesn't say that anybody's. Okay, we'll just go to head coach preferred lines, and then I'll readjust. Head coach preferred lines. Lehman right there, like that, and Delorier's on the first line. Sure, why not? Put the grinder on the first line. I don't care. But there we go. Things look good, except for, I think, scratched. Tyson Forster should be playing. I'll actually scratch Delorier and put Forster in because why would I not? But there we go. Things look good there, and we are good to go, and we're in the AHL, back to the NHL, and we do get back-to-back wins after dropping the game to the Flames, and right now things are looking fine. An overtime win, and then we got D'Angelo back, and we won 5-2 against a Seattle team that's really not too bad. Seattle is... in a wild card spot for them. We are now safely, well, I shouldn't say safely, we are 1 point above the Rangers and in a divisional spot. So January has been a good month the first 2 weeks, and we're continuing that against the Penguins there. Kasper Halttunen is back, so we'll edit the lines quickly. We will scratch. Who do we want to scratch? Probably Patrick Brown. Replace him with Halttunen. Halttunen for Brooks. Brooks for Ratcliffe and Halttunen. Yep, there we go. All right, so the second line, we'll put these guys together on the second line. Does anybody fit better on the second line? Does anybody fit the second line, period, is the question. No, it looks like nobody fits the second line at all. Yeah, no, Tyson Forster does, so maybe we'll flip-flop those guys, and Tyson Forster will play, we'll get a good second line going, but hopefully those guys can make an impact for us there. Ryan Merkley is being waived. Interesting player, low elite 76, offensive defenseman. He'd be good for the AHL, but I couldn't send him to the AHL if we claimed him, so we're going to decline that. I probably could sneak him through waivers again, but we got to stop just so we can see we're in the AHL again, and now we're back to the NHL, and multiple wins again, beating the Boston Bruins, who are a very, very good team there in the Atlantic Division, 61 points. We're right there with them, and the Columbus Blue Jackets, who have fallen off a little bit, fallen off the pace. Then we lose to the Chicago Blackhawks, who really rebounded pretty strongly after getting rid of Jonathan Toews. All right, so we got a couple more games left in the month of January. We win against the San Jose Sharks. Morgan Frost has strained his abdomen. He's going to be returning February 9th. So we're going to move Kevin Hayes up, and we're going to fill this slot with Allison and move Paling up. Put Boyd back at center here, and there we go. We are good. Power play. Yep, things are looking good. I like that. We're no longer getting the plus there, but that's okay. Konechny Hayes, and Atkinson. Atkinson is a great second liner for us. If only we could find some other guys that were as good on the second line. So like Farabee and Konechny, we'd get a +3. Like we've done this before. Farabee is a -13. He's getting a lot of ice time. We want to give Konechny more ice time, in my opinion. Farabee is just struggling with it, and I don't mind the +3 at all. So we could offer to trade Samuel Montembeault for a third. I'm not going to take that. I don't need another goalie. And a couple wins, a shootout win, and just head coach replaced player for Wade Allison. The Sabres want Ristolainen back, and they want to get rid of Olofsson and Marcus Johansson. The Sabres are just spinning the tires. We're going to decline that trade. No, thank you. That's not going to happen. And we finished the month of January on a 5-game winning streak to go 33-14-4. Things are looking good, guys. We're top of the NHL. We're top of the NHL. Holy smokes. Glad I didn't make a trade, and I gave it the month. We got hot, though. We'll see how it goes. Copley, exact starter, so it's another goalie, but again, I don't need goalies. Teams are just trying to get my third. All right, so we are now eligible to get multiple players back, which is good to see. McEwen, take him out for Morgan Frost, and we'll flip-flop this, and then it's just that easy. There we go. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Kevin Hayes is a +2. Maybe we want to give Frost the third line minutes. He's getting a lot of minutes. He's got 28 points, but Atkinson and Hayes just seem to be tearing it up together, and pairing them with Farabee seems like a good deal to me. Farabee is just, he's struggling real mightily. Owen Tippett, I think he's been better since he's been on that third line. Taking a look at the defense, Provorov, Ellis, Sanheim, D'Angelo, York, and Risto. So York is a big old minus, and Risto's actually playing pretty well. So I don't think that having two offensive defensemen together would work. And Sanheim is an 84, and he just got signed to that big extension. Allison is fully healed. That's fine. Rastalainen for Tanner Jeannot. That's not going to happen. We lose 3-0 to the Carolina, and a swollen knee for Carter Hart. Oh boy, that's not what we could afford to have happen. Goaltending, Felix Sandstrom, come on up. We're going to edit our lines. Yikes. Thompson, who I believe is playing really well for the Vegas Golden Knights in real life. Let's hope he plays well for us here. He's not been playing well, but he's only had 8 games to prove himself, so we'll see if he can bounce back into the starting role for us. But really enjoying the first line's performance. Actually, it's a minus. Konechny is a plus, though. So flipping Farabee and Konechny might make the most sense. Back to edit lines. In the AHL, we need to add a goalie in. And Kral, that's fine. Kral is just some random. Daniel Kral is just a random that's getting added. But the plus minus, I think, is bouncing back for these guys. They got a bit more points, too. Yeah, it's not what you want to see, but it is what it is. They also want to offer us Copley, which now might make sense. But Carter Hart's back. So we're instantly going to send back down Felix Sandstrom, who got a chance to start. Looked really freaking good in the start. And is going to head down. But we are going to be playing Carter Hart. Without a doubt. I mean, there's no reason I would think to send Thompson down. Yeah, no, it's just in the AHL now. We're going to get Kral out of there for Felix Sandstrom. Yes, go ahead and do that. And there we go. All right, so hopefully the AHL. Halton is now up to a 70, though. I did notice that. That's really good to see. Continue. We're going to stop the sim. Stop the sim. And yeah, there we go. All right, so in the NHL, we lost 2 consecutive games, but so things aren't as smooth sailing as they may appear. Making a move for a defenseman might still make sense here at the deadline, and especially if Ellis is going to pull his groin. That's definitely not something we can afford to have happen. Defensively, I guess we'll move D'Angelo back up. We'll move York up to play with Sanheim, and we'll fill Olli Juolevi back in. It gives us the -2, even though that's a lie. On power play line 2, Juolevi is not going to go there. We're going to flip-flop Juolevi. Ristolainen's got some offensive potential. Actually, they took that away from him too. Wow. So everybody found out. Even EA found out that he's not that good. We are going to put Cam York on the power play, though. Give him a little extra power play time. And on the extra lines, we got the extra attacker. One of them was Ryan Ellis. I don't want that. I would like that to be, oh my goodness. We want that to probably be Jonathan Drouin. Substitute him there. And then in the shootout, it's Atkinson, Couturier, Drouin, Konechny, and Owen Tippett. Yeah, why not? We'll put Owen Tippett in there. Awesome. So The bit of injury coming our way. Patrick Hornfield, still don't want him. If somebody offers me a defensive defenseman, though, I might consider it. Jackson Cates, yeah, he looked fine. I don't think he was out. Connor Carrick, what kind of defenseman are you? A two-way defender who fits nothing. Goodbye. I do not want that. And Travis Boyd has been injured with a sprained ankle. So injuries are starting to pop up a bit more. If you guys do remember it in the last one, I did bump it up just a bit. We're going to play Allison in his stead. And then defensively, we're going to replace Olli Juolevi with Ryan Ellis and then move Ryan Ellis back up the lineup. And then power play. I think I might leave York still because I want York to grow, right? So I might leave him there. Oh boy, continue. We're going to stop the sim. Things got wild there, but after losing 4 in a row, we bounced back with 2 wins against a tough team in the Calgary Flames and an average team there in the Minnesota Wild. But it's one we need to win if we're going to keep pace here at the top of the Metropolitan at 80 points. We continue to be tied for the second best team in the NHL with the New York Rangers, and I'll take it. We are looking okay. Robert Hagg. No, a defensive defenseman, but like he's 75 overall. He's going down for a reason. Ratcliffe gained morale because of ice time, and here we are. We are basically 2 days away from the trade deadline. Tyroning has back spasms. We'll edit the lines manually down here. Haltonen's now up to a 70, things we love to see. They're not doing great. They're not really doing that well, but we will do head coach preferred lines. Haltonen and Lehman. Now maybe they can hold their own on the top line, getting the +1. With Ratcliffe, Tyson Forster with them there. Ratcliffe down here. Lezinski. So is it Wisdom? Who's the one that's causing the? It's Wisdom or Ratcliffe. We'll let Forster center this line here. Lezinski. Yeah, there we go. I'm okay with this, and we'll play Ratcliffe, Lehman, and Haltonen. Defensively, we'll leave it at best lines. Listen, if he wants to do best lines, that's fine. Going back to the NHL, this game against Toronto, and then I will take a break. And take a look at how things are going, and they're going well. We beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are a playoff team. 75 points in 60 games. We've got 82 and 62, though. 5 points off the What's going on with the Blackhawks? Why were they so good? That's what I want to know. Is what are they doing that has just absolutely rebounded their team? They went after Dylan Larkin and Ryan O'Reilly. So they took the... What? How? Oh my God. They gave him a 1 year, just under 7, and they gave him a wow. Okay, so they are pairing American boys together on the top line. Patrick Kane and Dylan Larkin. Andre Kasha is he's just along for the ride, really. Gurianov, O'Reilly, Radish. And they got Donato, Lucas Reichel, who looks really like he's developing well. Garnet Hathaway, and then that's a really solid team. I was like, what did they do? And then Seth Jones, still an 86 with X Factors. I don't agree, but maybe he's bounced back. Who knows? Jake McCabe, their defensive core is not great, but their offense is really, really good, and that's probably what's carrying them. And they have They also went out and got Tristan. The Blackhawks have been busy, man. Holy smokes. They want to go one last time with Patrick Kane, and damn, they're doing it. All right. Taking a look, though, at our player stats. Who is and who is not performing the way we want them to. So forward-wise, Cam Atkinson. Money. That's what we want to see from Cam Atkinson. A second-line forward putting up 46 points in 62 games. He's on pace for about 60, 70 points, which is fantastic. Jonathan Drouin is doing all right, 41 and 62, also pretty solid. Couturier, nobody's really blowing us away. We got some pretty bad minus players here, though, and I don't know why. But Travis Konechny is not a minus player. He's a +8. He's probably the best plus-minus on the team. Tippett, -13, but I want to say that's improving, and I want to say he's improving. His underlying numbers look pretty good. Bobby Brink, though, with 22 points in 60 games. So he's probably on pace for 35 points this season, +2. Travis Boyd is 20 points in 61. Whoa! Travis Boyd also shooting 16%, so I can't expect that to last forever, but no power play points. Impressive. Paling with 4 game-winning goals. And then Noah Cates, Wade Allison, and we got a couple players just chipping in at the bottom. The bottom 6 is doing really, really well. Tony DeAngelo back down to a minus player. Ryan Ellis doing really well. Provorov doing really well. And then Sanheim's got a good plus-minus. Cam York, bad plus-minus. But Joel Levy has done really, really well. I think we claimed him. Or no, we signed him in free agency as our 7th defenseman. And he's been phenomenal in that role. And then Rasmus Ristolainen continues to plot along with a good performance that I can't criticize him for, but at $5 million, you obviously want more. And then in goal, both goaltenders seeming to step up. Logan Thompson had 2 phenomenal games as he was the starter. And then Carter Hart continues to bounce back this season. And I'm glad I got him signed and did not wait any further. But taking a look at our team, we're scoring 3.16 per game, which is third best in the division, and our goals against per game is fourth best. So we could still get a little bit better there. Ristolainen, maybe somebody I would look to scratch if we get a defensive defenseman, at least for this year, but Ristolainen's not the problem. Cam York could be doing better, but we could find a better partner for Cam York. We'll see what the trade deadline has to offer. I'm going to be a conservative buyer, I think. There's really nobody on an expiring deal. Maybe Tony DeAngelo, we float his name out there. He's putting up a lot of points, yes, but at a -2. Maybe we look to flip-flop him for a really good defensive defenseman, right? It's kind of that trade that would make sense to me. If we move on from DeAngelo, that's a team that's going to go for it, and they'd be willing to give up a pretty solid defensive defenseman. Maybe they need more offense. He wants an extension. We don't have a ton of cap space to offer him an extension. He wants $8.5 million. We have 4.6, so he is the odd man out. Now, if we wanted to make a cup run, we could hold on to him, but I don't think I want to do that. So let's take a look at teams that might be interested in a guy like Tony DeAngelo. It's a pretty solid amount of trade value, too. Finding a trade. We could get a medium. The Blackhawks. You guys know the Blackhawks are going all in. They're going for it. They're gunning for it. And we can get a medium elite Kevin Korchinski, 77 at 19, offensive defenseman. Basically, we're swapping an offensive defenseman of today for an offensive defenseman of tomorrow. He was their first-round pick just in this past draft. I believe they got this from the DeBrincat trade. Was one of them. I think it might have been that pick from the DeBrincat trade. But really good defensive awareness at 86, passing, offensive awareness. This guy looks really, really good. He looks like he could almost play now. He's got 39 points in 44 games in the AHL. He is dominating the AHL and would certainly help our AHL out. If I retain half of his salary, no, because if we clear all of his salary, then I have the opportunity to make a move. I see this making sense for the Blackhawks. I mean, listen, they're going all in to get Kane another cup. They signed Larkin. They signed Ryan O'Reilly. We just looked at their defensive core. It's not that good outside of Seth Jones. They really do need one more. This trade makes a lot of sense to me. We know Ole Juolevi's been playing well when he's been in there, and he's a fine bottom pairing defenseman. He's a sixth defenseman for us. Korchinski will go straight down to the minors for us, play that medium elite, hopefully help the minor guys out like Lehman and Haltonen and help them put up points because he's putting up points. So I honestly like this trade a lot. We aren't going to be able to bring DeAngelo back. We need to get younger. We need to get cheaper. It's the kind of trade that I think makes sense. Chicago's got the cap space for it. They want this deal. I love this deal. Korchinski looks like a guy who I would absolutely love to have on my team with his 88 passing, 85 offensive awareness, and he's no slouch defensively. 3 stars, but he's got 86 defensive awareness, 80 stick checking. His skating could improve, but he is a 6'3" defenseman, so doesn't have to be the fastest guy in the world. His shot also could improve. Physicality at 6'3", I'd like to see a bit better, but listen, this guy puts up points, and he's going to help us win games. DeAngelo has been fantastic, but you guys can see he's a -2. He's been a detriment to us. He is insane offensively. Oh my God. 94 passing, 93 offensive awareness. His defense is not bad. It's not as bad as you would think, but I think he's overvalued here. I think this is an absolute win. I know I'm just kind of going over the trade a lot, but we'd also clear up 4.8 and get away from that cap ceiling for Korchinski. I'm doing it. Proposed trade. Trade accepted. And there we go. We need to call up a defenseman now. And I think that defenseman would make sense if it was Connaughton. Actually, wait. In NHL, oh, yeah, he's playing for the Seattle. Oh, that's why. I was like, he's playing in the minors right now. That's what's going on. So we will call up Connaughton. Who's looking better? Ronnie Adder, defensive defenseman. Let's call him up and see maybe he could play for us. So we'll edit the NHL lines here. I really like that trade, guys. I hope you guys do too. But moving Rasmus Ristolainen up, maybe? Ristolainen doesn't really fit. He's been solid, and York could use a pretty solid partner. Addard gets us a -3. I'm going to back out. Best lines in the AHL here. Looks good to me. Really, really liking it. Yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't realize that he was part of the Seattle Thunderbirds and not their AHL Chicago Wolves. I think, is that still theirs or is that Vegas's? I can't remember. But we now have Haltonen and Korchinski to pair with Lehman. Korchinski, He's not going to be with us this year, but next year he could make an absolute massive jump. And we just saved a lot of money, and that he could just be another offensive defenseman in the fold next year. We'll maybe sign some defensive defensemen in free agency. But taking a look here, I think having the offensive and defensive player on the third pairing is not going to be a minus. Yeah, there you go. You guys can see it's not, but we will move Joel Levy there. I don't want to move Joel Levy up. He's been good in his role. Ristolainen is going to get an expanded role, and maybe he will thrive in it. We don't know. But on the power play, Joel Levy is not the guy I want there. I would like to have Ryan Ellis, and boom, there we go, done. It's 1-to-1, right? Ryan Ellis is a phenomenal offensive two-way defenseman. 88 passing, 89 offensive awareness, and it should be good to go. And we're fine there. Provorov's just about as good, a little bit younger. Sanheim, not quite. But, oh, wow. Ivan Provorov should probably be that guy on the power play. Sorry, Ryan Ellis, step aside. We have Ivan Provorov to come in. He doesn't get us the plus, though, which is a bit unfortunate. On the power play, too, Cam York fits, Bobby Brink fits, Atkinson fits, Farabee doesn't, and Frost sort of does. On the power play, line 1, Kevin Hayes is continuing to be there. Even strength, maybe flip these guys again, Frost. I don't know. They're doing well. Bobby Brink is just continuing to play well. I don't know how his line mates get minuses, and he's just chilling there with a +2, but I'll take it. I'll take a sniper who's gonna not be a minus. That's kind of what we need right now. But Bobby Brink, where can you fit? He can fit on either of these two lines right here. He would get a +3, and then we could maybe move something like that. Bobby Brink with Konechny and Couturier. I mean, I'll give it a go. And then it's Drouin with Frost and Farabee, and then it's Tippett, Hayes, Atkinson, and we get the +3 still, so Bobby Brink's an 83. I'm going to give it a go. We're going to see what happens, right? I know we're in a little bit of a tighter race, but I want to give Bobby Brink the opportunity because he's playing well. But now we're at the trade deadline, and maybe we look to get a bottom sixer. Maybe we look to go after one defenseman because now we have a room for it. But I love that trade for Korchinski. I think it's a great trade. And we're going to be a conservative buyer here at the deadline. Alice lost morale because of his individual performance. Steven Stamkos is available. What would it take us to get Steven Stamkos? Our entire team. All right, so not going to do the Steven Stamkos trade. Nope, I just want available play. All teams, all available, please, thank you. Anze Kopitar. Could we get Anze Kopitar? Would it make sense for us? 2 firsts and Forrester. Lehman in a first to third. No, it would not make sense. Adam Pelech, but he's got 6 years left at 5.7. We don't really have room for that next year. We've got a lot of salary dished out next year, so we'll probably just have to get a 1-year rental. The Wild are getting Nikita Zaitsev. Not a bad trade for them. Philippe Deneau, Eberle. I'm looking for a defensive defenseman here. Victor Olofsson is a sniper. How's he playing for the... Oh, I can't check. Cool, that's awesome. You can't check how players are doing, but just by clicking on their screen here. I would love to know how he's doing. But all these two-way defensemen, man. Oh, defensive defenseman. Joel Edmondson is on the block. Okay. Lindblom and Hamonic to the Blackhawks for 2 seconds. Oh my God. The Chicago Blackhawks have officially gone all in. And I believe that was the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal. Let's see. They had Edmondson. Yeah. Edmondson, 1 year at 3.5. It would take a 4th and a 5th or Ristolainen. I really want to do the Risto deal. Wouldn't make sense. So a 4th and a 5th next year. If we take a look at the trade, we'll edit it real quick. Just taking a look at what's available. The Arizona Coyotes have made a trade. A 2nd and Scott Lawton goes on the move for another deadline in a row for Capo Kakinen, a 3rd and a 4th. Skaters matching the block. Wow, they are not excited about their future, are they? Okay, can I do maybe, let's take a look at the goalies matching the block. No, we need to draft a goalie or two, but we don't have a ton of picks. We have a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, 6th and a 7th, a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th. Can I do a 5th and a 6th maybe for Edmondson instead of a 4th and a 5th? 5th and a 6th for Edmondson. Oh, we'd have to move down Addard. Okay, let's, you know what? No, that's a bit chintzy if I start offering less. But we will do the 5th and the 6th for Edmondson. Counter offered, trade accepted. I didn't check if he fit our scheme. I did not check to see if he fit our scheme. Don't punish me, please. Does he fit the scheme? I have no idea. Oh, I have no idea anymore if he fits the scheme. He's a defensive defenseman, though. I mean, like, look at that defensive category, guys. He's going to be the perfect guy to pair with York and just let York go up the ice. Edmondson will just stay back and cover you, my guy. But man, I'm so excited about Korchinski. I really, really am. I think that D'Angelo for him, D'Angelo's phenomenal. I can't wait to see how D'Angelo does in Chicago, but that trade just kind of makes sense to me for what they're doing, right? They're going all in. Another run with Patrick Kane before he starts to regress. I mean, they also have, players that'll help replenish it, keep the competitive spirit alive with both Ryan O'Reilly and Dylan Larkin. Oh my God. Jorgen Eriksson here. Oh, X Factor. And so is Evan Madden here. An RFA at 19, medium top 4, two-way defender. What would it take to get him? It would take us instantly. No, Bobby Brink is not going to be traded. Nedeljkovic is on the move to the Seattle Kraken for Wenberg. Wow, that's a big trade if you ask me. All right, so Adam Ernie is a power forward that looks probably just upset. Matthias Samuelsson also probably just upset at a 77. I swear I just looked at this guy and he was... I love the fact that they want Risto back. Oh my God, they would never. Oh God, what was I just about to say? Yeah, I just looked at, these are guys that are probably upset. I just looked at Matthias Samuelsson and he was like an 81 and he's grown nicely. Adam Ernie is probably also upset. Taking a look at what we could give up to a 7th. They'll give me Adam Ernie for a 7th. They just want to get rid of him. 1.28 fourth line forward, a power forward. Does he fit the scheme? Does not really fit the scheme, unfortunately. And we've already got guys like Adam Ernie. I think he's upset, first of all, because he's getting less than 7 minutes a night. But he's not playing well, and he doesn't look like he would produce. Doesn't look like a guy that it's worth training for. The Sabres have traded Matthias Samuelsson to the New Jersey Devils. There's only so much I can control about CPU to CPU trading, guys. I cannot control boneheaded moves. I don't think they would ever trade him on that deal. Drake Kajula, two-way forward, not a bad player. Chad Ruedel, Volman. There was Joakim Kamel from the Nashville Predators. They want to get rid of him, but there are no trades to be found. We probably could have moved on from D'Angelo to go there. The Chicago Blackhawks don't seem to care about locker room issues. So kind of made sense in all facets of the trade. Gambrel, Gergensons. I'm trying to find like any frustrated players. Comrie, 80. Yeah, these are goaltenders. Bertuzzo, Hayden Fleury, Stepan, Thomas Tatar, Sniper, Smith, Schultz, offense and defense. We don't need more of those. We don't need any goalies. Andreas Athanasiou's got multiple years left. Copley, Toronto Maple Leafs trade. Good. I'm glad we had to stop everything for them. SDA, a 4th, and Agostino and Lazowski to the Red Wings in exchange for Jensen. Okay. All right, so we're back to where we were just about. Miles Wood, not a bad two-way forward, a third liner. Patrick Hornfist, Dominique Kubalik, a two-way forward that we know puts in goals. Dominique Kubalik would take a third, or Paling. I'd rather not. Oh my God. Just let me just stay where I am. Owen Pickering, a third in Bjorklund, to go to the Arizona Coyotes from the Washington Capitals in exchange for a third, Stolars, and 2 fourths. David Perrons also would not be a bad player to go after just for 1 year. Pitlick from the Montreal Canadiens. We've already called them once. What do they want this time? Yeah, these guys are a bit more expensive. They're those 83s. That's why I'm looking for disgruntled players that are lower. Oh, wow. Dylan Strome did not sign a contract. He's an RFA, and they're trying. The Chicago Blackhawks trade a second to the Coyotes in exchange for David Krejci and a third. Oh my God, the Chicago Blackhawks are all in. They are all in. Oh my, we could bring Jiver back. Oh my God, Chicago is just going for it. Patrick Hornqvist for a third and a 7th. I'm going to decline that trade. We're back at the top here. Oh my God, Chicago is going nuts. David, I can't wait. We got to look at their team. Sim a day or two. Look at their lines, because that team is going to be absurd. But of course, they're probably going to get swept in the playoffs, because you put together a great team, goes nowhere. Put together a bad team, you somehow win the cup. So maybe we can do that. Thomas Tatar, a sniper. We don't really need more snipers. We don't really need more two-way forwards either. Rob Bortuzzo, another defensive defenseman. A bit more depth. Allison in a 6th. I'd like to keep Allison. Well, Allison's a perfect bench forward. The Panthers are trading a 2nd, 7th. Is that Shane Wright? And no, it can't be. And Schmidt to the Seattle Kraken for Wait. Did they acquire Shane Wright and then trade him? Did they get Shane Wright earlier in the day? Okay, they made a trade. Florida traded with the Kraken once. Did they do it again? Florida? It's S. Wright. Who the hell is S. Wright? Oh, no, I must have misread that. Oh, no, 2 others from Florida. Yeah, no, maybe they did. Let's go take a look at the Seattle Kraken and see just who this infamous S. Wright is. Because if it's Shane Wright, that's downright disrespectful. Shane Wright, have you played for anybody? No, you've not played for anybody but Seattle. Steven Wright. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, my God. I was like, no way they just traded Shane Wright and then traded for him. But I've seen that before. That's absurd. But I think we're done making trades. We've got 2 firsts, a 2nd. There's nobody really that I want to move on from anymore. We got 2 firsts, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 6th, and a 7th, right? So those 4th, 5th round picks are the only ones we're missing. I think we're okay. I don't really want to leverage more picks away. We have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th next year. We're just kind of trying to hope that we can contend until Halton and Lehman and now Korchinski all come up, not to mention the guys that we draft this year. Michael Bunting in a 6th, go to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a 2nd, and Rourke. All right. But that's all the trading I'm going to do. I'm just going to exit the deadline. There's nothing left for me to do. Emil Bemstrom is being waived. He's got 2 years left. He's an 80 overall sniper. Would fit the 2nd line. He's currently on their 3rd line. 80 overall checking forward. Doesn't seem too bad to me. I don't know. He's playing on their 4th line. I don't really think we have room for him, to be honest. And we've got enough snipers. But hopefully somebody does claim him and gets somebody pretty good. But viewing the lines, I want to go take a look at the Chicago Blackhawks. And let's see. They now have... They bumped Seth Jones. I guess they're both righties. But McCabe, I mean, that's probably a smart move. Spread your talent around. But they also went out and got David Krejci. Oh my God, he looks so old in this photo. He's still so good. Oh my God. They have officially gone all in. This team is insane. They have Jari and Mrazek still scratched. They've got Jason Dickinson, Donskoy, and Tyler Johnson all scratched in the 80s. What is this team? Oh my God, Chicago. Holy smokes. All right, well, let's go ahead and see how the season ends for us and we can preview our playoff matchup. But we have, we'll go up to this game against the Rangers because that's the 5 games remaining. Travis Boyd is fully healthy. We love to hear that. Oh, we need to defense. Replace Joel Levy with Joel Edmondson. That might get us a plus there. I don't know. Edmondson only fits the 3rd pairing well. Risto fits. Oh, and Cam York's a perfect fit on that 2nd pairing. So maybe that's something I want to do right there is play Risto with Edmondson and move York up. We know that the lines aren't the smartest. Or the chemistry still is not like perfect, but I'm liking these lines. Bobby Brink, another plus, a +1. There we go. A shootout loss. Kevin Hayes is fully healed. We know that though. I'm gonna pause and double check the chemistry now because I don't know if Cam York on the 2nd pairing is the smartest move. But defensively, yeah, we'll do this. We'll play York and Edmondson and Risto with Sanheim. Just because York's the only one that's really not played well, so getting him a quality partner like Edmondson, moving Risto up into the middle defensive pairing, I think is fine. He's been okay, so we'll see. Let's get to here. We'll just go up a couple weeks. Washington, we are going to win in a shootout. Charlie Lindgren, don't need a goalie. We lose 6-3 there. Konechny broke his nose. Oh, no. We're going to move Jonathan Drouin up or Joel Farabee. Neither of them get us a boost. Farabee can play left wing. He is a left winger. Atkinson will move up. Boyd will move up. And then we'll replace with Wade Allison. Or do we want Paling up? Paling, I think... Actually, Tyler Boyd's been really, really good this season. So there we go. Ty Ronning is available to play. We're going to... Ryan Ellis got a sore knee now. Oh, my God. And Sean Couturier's out? Oh, my God. The injury bug has just reappeared I'm gonna just quickly head coach preferred lines. Yikes! Now Paling's on the. Why is Paling on the second line? I don't want that. Ay ay ay. Bobby Brink also should be playing higher in the lineup over Cates. Brink. I mean, he's doing really well. He's a +4 since I put him on that first line, but the first line's no longer getting the +3. We will move Paling there, tip it there. Okay. And then defensively, it's Provorov and Risto, Sanheim and Edmondson, and York and Yul Levy. That's not good. I understand why we're doing it. Risto's a +3. But I'm gonna pause the sim as we go on a little bit of a losing skid there. You know, going 2-2-1 in the 5 after the trade deadline's not the greatest. But I am gonna bump the injury slider just down a bit. We are starting to get a little bit too many injuries for the fun of it. We're gonna go down to 23. I mean, I only bumped it up to 25. 23 should be good. Just bump it down 2. Somewhere in the middle here, I feel like is perfect. Like an injury every other week is okay, but an injury this often, and we had no injuries in the when we had it down at 20, so we're just trying to find a little bit of a balance. So I thought there was another injury. Whew, but a 3-0 shutout win, a 6-2 win there against Pittsburgh. That's huge. That's back-to-back Metropolitan wins. And who is healthy now? Scratched. Couturier and Ellis are healthy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wade Allison. You know what? We're just going to do head coach preferred lines real quick. And then Bobby Brink is going to move up there for Atkinson. Farabee up there for Atkinson. Atkinson for Tippett. Boyd for Allison. And then Allison for McEwen. And McEwen out, Paling in. There we go. I actually rather like these lines, to be honest. Bobby Brink continuing to play well. I like it. Defensively, Ryan Ellis is now up there again. It's Risto and Sanheim and Edmondson and York. I like that a lot. And it's actually helped York out. Look at that. Taking a look at the power play. We've got Couturier, Farabee, Ellis, Provorov, Drouin. Flip-flop him with, I guess, Atkinson. And then on power play line 2, you've got Hayes, Sanheim, Provorov. Why is Boyd? Oh, well, I get why, but Bobby Brink should be there. Bobby Brink, and then, yeah, we're fine with it. Don't know where we are. We're in May. We lose to the Islanders, which kind of sucks. Where are we? We're still at the top of the division, which is good. 92 points, 4 points behind the Blackhawks now. Going up to this game against the Rangers, which could be kind of big. Ryan Ellis is fully healed. We already have him in the lineup. Against Washington, we're going to lose 4-1. Against Tampa Bay, we win. Derek Grant, not a guy that I feel like claiming right now, although with these injuries, maybe. But 3 straight wins there. Travis Konechny is fully healed. There we go. We're once again going to preferred lines. Move Drouin down for Bobby Brink. Bobby Brink, come on in. Cates out. Paling in. Actually, and then Allison out. Cates in. Cates switch with there and there and there. Okay, and Bobby Brink up here for Drouin. Flip with Konechny. Drouin, flip with Tippett. Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Farabee, flip-flop with Atkinson. Yeah, there we go. And then Atkinson, Hayes, Tippett. Okay, so we're starting to get healthy again. Defensively is looking okay. And then in goal, obviously, we still have Carter Hart, who's killing it. Holy smokes. And here we go. And we're here to the end of the season. We're doing really, really well, so it's not going to be that tight. We have 102 points. We could catch them. So we're just going to go up here to the final game against the Carolina Hurricanes, see if there's anything interesting. 2-1 loss there to the Rangers hurts. Back-to-back losses to the Sabres really hurts. And we come skidding into the playoffs. Sealer, we're just going to best lines it down there in the AHL. And we absolutely falter into the playoffs and lose out on the top spot by a point. The Capitals get it. And oh my God, that shootout loss is the difference. And there we go, guys. That is that. I mean, nobody really put up a lot of points this year, but things are good. We will be playing the Blue Jackets, who the Capitals, wow. But the Blackhawks absolutely killed it. But that is all the time I have for this one, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, free for all.